Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Herman Green. Managing Director of Ark Manufacturing, Norman Horn, is calling for the government to provide greater incentives to manufacturers through trade barriers. Mr. Horn, who was speaking at the ceremony where his company commissioned a new plant, says the protection is needed to allow manufacturers to create more jobs. Dashan Hendricks reports.
A $200 million investment marking the launch of Ark Manufacturing's newest plant, the product to be produced, wire mesh for the local and export markets. And the investment as well as more to come, the Ark chairman Norman Horn pleading for more protection for local manufacturers. He says it's something other countries are doing.
We see more and more where world or global companies are advocating for greater levels of incentives in their domestic economy to produce. And those incentives comes in many forms, to include that of establishing trade barriers that provide incentives for your domestic manufacturers.
Mr. Horn says that there are little to no barriers to entry for manufacturers of building materials since 1994.
And I do believe that we're manufacturers here where we have the capacity to satisfy the domestic market, that there should be more barriers to entry for competing products. These barriers to entry are not necessarily seen as an advocacy for protectionism, but more so as incentives to put Jamaicans to work.
Industry Minister Carl Samuda, who was also in attendance at the function on Tuesday, says he saw products at Ark being produced which, based on the value added to them, do deserve protection, and that is being worked on.
However, I can promise you one thing. It is not a subject that has not been examined carefully by the Minister of Finance and myself. And we are almost, I say almost, we are almost at the stage where you will be given the kind of protection for what you're doing.
For the Business Day, I am Dashan Hendricks.
The Jamaican dollar continues to gain on the U.S. currency, pushing the price of the greenback to a new 15-week low. That price is $126.53, the lowest the U.S. dollar has sold for since August 2 last year. The price also represents a 5% appreciation for the Jamaican dollar after it sank to an all-time low in mid-September. The Canadian dollar is selling for $99.70. The pound sterling is going for $167.18, while the euro costs $149.72. In the meantime, the Bank of Jamaica has indicated that it will not be selling U.S. dollars to the market during the first 2 weeks of December. The central bank says that the decision was taken after market conditions indicated there is no need for it to add more foreign exchange to the market. The development follows an appreciation of the Jamaican currency over the last 2 months. Fosrich today released its prospectus indicating it will be offering over 100 million shares in an initial public offering IPO. The shares have been priced at $2 each, with Fosrich hoping to raise $200 million from the issue. Fosrich says it intends to use the proceeds to expand the company and repay debt. Stock and Securities is the lead broker for the IPO. And stocks ended mostly higher today, but losses in the price of the NCB Financial Group shares pushed the JSE index to decline by more than 589 points, while the junior market index gained 30. The winners of the day include Access Financial, Siboney Group, Express Catering, Jetcon, Kingston Wharves, Portland JSX, and Seprod. On the losing end were Barita Investments, Carreras, Knutsford Express, NCB Financial Group, and Supreme Ventures. And that's the Business Day. I'm Herman Green. Good evening.